What is going on, everyone? So I just wanted to do this little intro before you guys watch the video. Um, so there's a few times I say, let's just be entertained and stop finding excuses on why a movie should suck. Didn't realize I kept repeating that a few times in the video, but I just want to point that out. So in case you guys see it, you guys are like, man, how many times does he have to say it? I didn't realize I was saying that so many times. I think I might have mentioned it that I could say it for the 100th time, but I just wanted to point it out for those who may not be aware of it. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stop finding an excuse on why a movie sucks and just enjoy it. What's going on, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing well. And as you guys can tell from the title, this is going to be a very interesting video because I want to talk about a few things. What really inspired me to do this video was the tons and tons of reviews for the Crow remake and Beetlejuice, and people just bashing it, finding every excuse in the book on why this movie sucks. And not just these two, but any movie out there. We've gotten to a point that we don't, go and watch a movie to be entertained. We go in there to find every little thing we can on why a movie sucks. And I'm sure some are going to agree to disagree, but I feel like today's generation, well, I wouldn't say today's generation, but in today's society or whatever you want to call it, I feel like we're getting to that point that no matter what movie comes out, we go into one, have high expectations, and two, we try to find every little thing that's wrong with that movie. And at one point, I was like that. I would go into a movie and try to find things that were wrong, and you know, I didn't care for the movie. But then I started changing my ways. I started watching a lot of films that at one point I didn't care for, and just kind of looked at it from a different perspective. I wanted to be entertained, and surprisingly, I was. That's the thing. Movies were meant, no movie's going to be perfect. They were meant to entertain us, to, use our imagination, get away from the world, the craziness that goes on in the world, and go into this world that, the land of make believe, I guess is the best way to put it, and just be entertained. That's what movies are meant for. Same with video games, comic books, music. It's all there to entertain us. Yes, you can like some tracks that, are, some tracks you like, some you don't, and that's fine. And it's like that with movies, but I feel like we're getting to the point now that, like I said, you have a high expectation. You're expecting it to be better than the first, or you're going to go in and start finding everything that is wrong rather than being entertained. Just be the prime example, the Crow remake. Are there, is it going to have issues? Yes. Beetlejuice. It's a great film. I find it to be a fun movie. Does it have its flaws? Yes. Just like every single movie out there. But then, when it comes to those saying, oh, well, there's no original ideas. There are plenty of original ideas, but guess what happens? People still bash them regardless. So it's, everybody's like, well, Hollywood runs out of ideas. They rely on sequels, legacy sequels, remakes, reboots, whatever it may be. And nothing's original anymore. Oh, here is original movie. Oh, that movie was garbage. Like, yeah, that's the one thing I can't stand. It's like you just can't be happy either way. And I've seen plenty of YouTubers who are constantly bashing these movies because they're going in having that high expectation, finding everything to, see what's wrong with it rather than being entertained by the film. Yes, you can go into a movie, and if it doesn't entertain you like the way you expect it to, then that's fine. That movie, in your mind, that movie's not so great. Maybe there are some things you took out of there that you really enjoyed, but other than that, not so much. And another thing too, like a great example is like these paid requests. If you have no interest in seeing a movie, then why would you go and see it, even if somebody paid you? Like for me, like a great example I can use is like Long Legs. The concept sounds great, but it's just not a movie that interests me. And if I was doing a paid request and somebody paid me to go see that movie, I'm going to give their money back because I don't have any interest in seeing it. And that's the thing too. Like, I saw one video, they're like, stop making movies. You got these other YouTubers who are like, yeah, they need to stop making movies. I wouldn't go see this, but then turn around and see it because they're getting paid for it. Like, I don't care if you're paying me $1 million. I'm not going to waste my time to go see a movie I have zero interest in. It just makes no sense. And then you hear the term, oh, everybody's got to rely on nostalgia and all this. Nostalgia can work in two ways. It can work in a good way and a bad way. The good way, it allows you to unlock memories you completely forgot about. I know I'm guilty of that. There's been times where I've watched an old movie I haven't seen in a long time, and bam, a memory that I have forgotten was unlocked, basically. Um, Plus, a lot of the nostalgia takes you out of the craziness that goes on in this world, brings you back and reminisces on a simpler time when things weren't as crazy. I mean, look at the 90s as a prime example. The 90s, it was a great decade. Now you look at today and it's just, you feel like you're dreaming. So, it's kind of that, kind of contradicting yourself and, not being happy no matter what is done. And it's just ridiculous. Like, let's go in and let's be entertained. That is our number one goal, is to be entertained. So, regardless, what you think, just have the expectation of, I want to be entertained. And if it's a movie you have no interest in, don't go see it. Don't waste your money. You can use that time for other things. And that's just me personally. Um, like the Crow remake. I'm excited for that movie. I can't wait. It looks like something I'm going to be entertained. And I'm a Bill Skarsgård fan. Beetlejuice was fun and entertaining. Do I see some of the points that people were complaining about? Of course I did, but I wasn't gonna let it ruin my theater experience. I was going in there to be entertained, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot better than I had originally expected it. Same with my brother. My brother, his expectations for this, he was skeptical, but he went to go see it, and he really, really enjoyed it, and he had a good time with it. So I feel like we need to stop finding everything about a movie, what is wrong with it and all this, and just be entertained. I know some things are going to work and others not so much. Now, one thing I can agree on when it comes to the movie industry is the trailers. I feel like the studios need to go back to their old formula when trailers didn't give almost everything away in their movie. Make it simple, make it fun, get people, you know, get them interested in it. I think another thing the movie industry needs to stop doing is getting involved. All the directors out there have a vision of what this film's going to be, especially with the script. They read the script, they visualize what the movie looks like in their head, and they go with it. Stop getting involved. You constantly get involved, and what happens? The movie's garbage. I mean, look at Zack Snyder's Justice League as a prime example. The Crow, City of Angels is a prime example. Apparently, there was a different cut of the film. The Schumacher cut for Batman Forever, apparently, there's individuals who have seen it and said it was a lot better. There's rumors of the first Suicide Squad film having a director's cut. So that's one thing I think the studios need to stop doing, is stop getting involved. Another thing the studios need to stop doing is, using their own personal opinion on a film and putting it in the vault rather than releasing it, to everyone. And a great example is Coyote versus Acme and the Batgirl movie. Who cares if the movie sucks? If you think it sucks, let the fans decide. I was looking forward to the Batgirl. I mean, Brendan Fraser as a villain, and when you watch interviews and he talks about his character, I wanted to see this movie. I don't care if it was cheesy. I wanted to see it, especially Brendan Fraser. And, a lot of those people put a lot of work into that movie. And a lot of the actors probably had to pass on other roles and for their movie not to be released. Yeah, you could say, oh, they got their money's worth. But to me, still, they had to probably pass on something that could have been a lot bigger than that. And they found something in that script was like, oh, yeah, I want to do this. The Coyote versus Acme. That movie looks like or sounds like it would have been a fun time. And we're a little long overdue for a live action Looney Tunes, live action mixed with animation. So I think it would have been cool. Should they release in theater? Not necessarily. With all the streaming services we got, they could have just done that. Maybe release it in theaters for just a little bit of time, do a limit run on it. And if it does get positive reviews, then you release it worldwide. But they have to stop, making these movies and then decide, oh yeah, this movie sucks. That's your opinion. You're going by your one opinion over the entire world. Like, come on now, just makes you look like an ass. And start getting simple with the trailer. Stop giving away too much. Stop getting involved in the director's vision. Let them let them create what they're visualizing. It'll be up to us if we think it's great or not. Another thing is the CGI. We need to get better with the CGI. I think a lot of people, when it comes to a lot of films, the CGI is not as good, and it needs to step up. We're in 2024. There is no excuse why CGI should look terrible. So I think those are at least some changes they can make. I'm sure there's a few other ones as well. Like the movie theaters is a great example. If they can price their items lower where they can still make a profit on everything, it's going to put a lot of seats back into the theater, and they're going to make a lot more. People are going to go, and these movies are going to make more than what they would have originally expected. So, just minor little changes can play a big, can help in a big way. But yeah, it just felt like, every time I turn around on YouTube, I'm constantly coming across these reviews, and, I probably shouldn't watch them because I know they're going to be a rant, but I want to see what their opinion is. And the more I keep watching, it's trying to find every single excuse in the book on why a movie sucks. A prime example, as I came across a video of a guy who reacted to somebody else's video on the Beetlejuice review, and literally, this YouTuber found everything that was wrong with this movie, saying that Beetlejuice was abusive and kind of making it almost political in some way. And it's like, are you serious? Like, I even read the comment section and people were like, what, like he's a woman abuser or something like that. I don't want to get like too detailed, but it was like finding all these things that were bad and wrong, and that's what they were getting out of the movie. And it was like, are you kidding me? Like, even the comment section of people were like, you have got to be kidding me. And just everybody stating their opinion. But again, when are we going to get to the point of not putting ourselves, to go see a movie that we have no interest in? When are we going to, just go be entertained by a film? I mean, I have a lot of movies in my collection people don't like, and I can see why, but I get entertained. That's the most important for me. And like I said, I changed my perspective on a lot of movies and have been more entertained by those films compared to the last few times I have watched those films. So, yeah, so from like, I can remember not really liking a scary movie, you know, way back in the day. I thought that movie was not that great. But the more I told myself I just need to be entertained, I got entertained. And I love that movie. I love the first two movies. Third movie, I like some of the things, but I just feel like some of the actors just felt out of place. I was still entertained, but not enough to where I gotta have the movie in my collection. So, there are things like that where I could still be entertained by a not so great movie to some extent, but not enough to want to have it in my collection. And like I said about Long Legs or whatever the movie's called, it seems like a great concept, but it's not going to be something I'm interested in. And I'm not going to put myself through watching a movie I have no interest in. And even if I was doing a paid request and somebody paid me to go see that movie, I'm not going to do it. Why would I want to, regardless if you're getting paid? You could pay me $1 million. I'm still not going to go see it because I just don't have an interest. I just don't want to see a movie I have completely no interest in. And all you're doing is paying for me to waste my time. And that's what I can't stand about the other YouTubers who are doing the same thing. Oh, I don't want to see this movie. I have no interest. This trailer sucks. Oh, blah, blah, blah. But yet turn around and we'll take somebody's money to go see it. You had no interest. Why go see it? I don't care if you paid, like I said, I don't care if you pay me $1 million. I'm not wasting my time. So, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people stating their opinion. And that's completely fine. Everybody's got a chance to state their opinion. And I'm going to tell you and everybody else that on this video, I'm going to tell exactly, what I would say to everybody, regardless of the topic. Agree to disagree. You guys like films I don't care too much for. There's films I like you guys don't care too much for. So we can always agree to disagree. But I feel like we have to get to that point of just stop finding excuses for movies. To me, like remakes and sequels and prequels help the original in some capacity. It never hurts. That's the one thing I can't stand. Oh, it's going to hurt the original. Where is the facts and the proof that it's going to hurt the original? Actually, it helps the original. Because when people, like, and a great example I can use is Robert Englund stated this. He said the reason why the remake did not work is because when the remake came out, there was a lot of people who didn't realize the original existed. He said when people started finding out that it was a remake and we're going back to the original, they were liking the original. They were having more of an appreciation for the original. And that's exactly what a lot of these movies do. People start to go and see the original and have a better appreciation. So it helps the original in some capacity. Now, um, now some remakes I think are great, others not so much, and that's fine. But the fact that people will sit there and go, "Oh yeah, it'll hurt the original," is just absolutely ridiculous because there's no proof or fact. And the reason why a lot of movies get remade is because they're trying to bring in a new generation. We have a new generation of people, watching movies, have no idea the original exists, and you gotta have that expectation from people. There's people I see on YouTube who are watching, they're like my age, or maybe they're early 40s or older, and they're watching The Crow for the first time because one, they just never took the time to watch it, or two, they didn't even know it existed. So, you know, them watching and loving it just shows how, the remake can help the original in some way. So I feel like, our perspective on movies, same with music and video games, has to change. We have to go in there with an open mind. The goal is to be entertained and then make your decision at the end. And if there's a movie you have no interest in, don't go see it. That's just me. Regardless if you're getting paid for it, just don't go see it. So you guys are more than welcome to put your opinion down in the comment section below. But I just wanted to do a video because for the past few years and just recently with The Crow and Beetlejuice, it's just like enough's enough, man. And why do a rant video? If you had no interest, don't go see the movie. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like video games, I don't have an interest in certain video games. I'm not going to play them, you know, and that's just how it is. I can value my time with other things. So and I'm not going to miss out. Like, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. So do I play any of the games? No, I'm not going to play any of the games because it's not my thing. And even if somebody paid me, I'm not playing them. I just don't have an interest in them. And I get most people do the rants because it gets most views, it gets clicks, but to me, that's just a waste. To me, it's a waste of time. It's definitely going to bring your blood pressure up, and that's just a waste. And it's just like, you know, there's no point. I mean, and that's just my opinion. Opinions don't matter. And like I said earlier, you can agree to disagree. But I just feel like we just need to start having a different perspective when we go to see movies and just be entertained. That's the most important thing, is films are made to entertain you, you know? Don't go in there having high expectations. Don't go in there trying to find everything that's wrong with it. Go in there to be entertained. Shut your brain off for a little bit, you know, get away from the craziness that goes in this world and just have a good time with the film. And at the end of the film, if it didn't entertain you, then that's fine, you know? At least you have that perspective. Most people not anymore, you know? You go in there and, like I said, high expectations and want to find everything, you know, like with the Beetlejuice. Now I can understand The Crow to some extent, but like Beetlejuice. This is, if you were to compare this to Dumb and Dumber, this would be a lot better. Is it perfect? No. To me, I felt like this could have been more of a live action episode of the animated series. Like, seriously, you could have done it if they had this on TV as a 1 hour special, you know, or a 2 hour, almost 2 hour special, and it's a live action adaptation. I'd still be down for it, you know. And I've always wanted to see a Beetlejuice sequel, regardless of how long it took. I just love the character so much, and it's one of my favorites. So, you know, and that's another thing too. People don't go, and this is what frustrates me the most. So when something like this comes out, people want to go complain. When something like The Crow comes out, people want to complain. But when you have the 100th, and I'm getting a little over exaggerating, but when you have probably the 10th or 12th night Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie coming out, or the 10th or 11th, you know, Halloween film comes out, people aren't going to complain as much. Yes, you do get to see some of the rant videos and things like that, but it's not as bad as says, you know, saying like Beetlejuice or something else. Like, it makes no sense. Like, that's okay, but, you know, this movie's an abomination. Like, what the hell, you know? But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, but I just something that kind of, after, you know, years and most recently watching videos of things like that, I wanted to do a topic on it and just state my opinion. You guys are more than welcome to, you know, chime in and let me know what you think. But yeah, I think the main goal, like I said, for the probably 10th time, let's just be entertained. Let's have a good time with a movie. And, you know, to me, I think that's what's important, because that's what's going to help physical media still be around, between buying the titles and going to see it. Because you also got to realize too, when movies, I feel like a lot of one of the biggest parts when it comes to movies is that the more people don't waste their time with this, you see all the negative reviews and things like that, and it does poorly. That, I feel like, does play a big part on why a lot of movies don't get um, the releases that they're supposed to. Not only that, but I am going to do a follow-up video on this and talk about rights issues with movies and how I feel like there could be a way to work the rights out or make some minor changes. And a great example I'm going to use is Fright Night Part 2, which will be my first video. You know, there's a lot of rights issues because, as we all, well, I wouldn't say rights issues, but there are some issues with it being released like it should. And I think a lot has to do with the Mendez brothers, as you guys know what happened during that time. So a lot of people are stating that, you know, that plays a big part. Also, there are a lot of movies out there due to like the music change and things like that. Guys, if we have to get a music, if there's a movie and certain scenes have to be changed or the music has to be changed, I'm okay with that. And the reason why is it allows the movie to be released that has never gotten a release. I can live with the music change because you can find the other source of that film with the original music or scenes that were cut out, put back in. You're always going to find that. But to get an official release, I'm okay with that. I feel like there's loopholes, I guess the best way to put it, around certain things when it comes to rights. You know, a lot of companies, not a lot of companies, but a lot of individuals out there are going to try to milk, oh yeah, I want this much. And then the studios are going to be like, no, we're good. You know, we're not going to pay that much. And others, they might come for a reasonable price. But I feel like to some extent, when somebody wants too much money, I feel like there's a loophole because you can make some changes. Because let's be honest, all the movies out there that had, you know, all the movies out there have their original cut that have not been edited. All the CGI hasn't, you know, is the rough cut. It's, you know, before all the CGI, all the music added in, all that. You can start from there and you can make the changes you need to and then finally release it. So, but with that being said, guys, I don't want to make this video too long, but like I said, state your opinion. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more content. And I'm Film Talk with Mikey. And until next time, we'll talk films. You guys take care, and I will see you guys soon.